Hi friends, Mindy here. Welcome to A Plan with Me for the month of March 2025. I am working in an Archer and Olive 8x8 dot grid journal. This is my preferred planner setup. And so I am going to start here with my title page for the month of March. As you can see, I have already penciled this in. I'm going to be using some Grabby acrylic markers. I have done reviews for these markers on my channel. If you're interested, you can check those out. But you can see I have this written out, and somewhere along the line, my brain just decided it was going to do its own thing. I don't have any answer for that. And so now I need to kind of make up for that error here. And these are acrylic markers. So I thought about a bunch of different ways to correct this. I thought about trying to see if I could just live with it. I literally had this penciled out, so I don't know what happened, like what disconnect happened in my brain when I was doing this. It happened. And this is like the way that I actually write my M's for when I sign my name. So I have no idea, like literally what happened. So I'm just going to turn the page and come back to that. In the end, I do fix it, and I will show you that at the end of the video. But I just had to move on because I just couldn't figure out why my brain was on the struggle bus. But it was, and you'll see it happens more than once throughout this video. So I am using another one of the Grabby acrylic markers. This is in the fine point. And I'm just writing the days of the week up for my calendar. This is my kind of month at a glance. And I'm using one of the brush markers here to give some color to my calendar. And as you can probably already tell, this calendar is not starting on the correct day. I have it starting on Friday. I haven't realized that at this moment, but I will fix that as well. Again, I don't know what happened. I didn't have a calendar right in front of me, and I don't know, I was just hurrying or something. Anyway, I think these things happen, but they can be fixed. So over here on the left, I'm just writing that this is March. I wrote the word intentions, and this is where I just kind of brainstorm some things that I need to do or accomplish this month. I just kind of plot those out, and that gives me an idea for things that I need to do and when I can do them. So at this point, I also want to kind of use this fine liner. I'm just going to go around and do some messy circles, outlines around all of these circles. I'm kind of leaning into this sort of mixed media vibe of these stickers and things that I'm using. And this is where I realized that I hadn't totally messed up the calendar. So I needed to add another kind of square down here at the bottom. So I end up just using some white out over what I had already written there. And then I will put some white out over this circle on Friday because March 1st was actually on Saturday. And then I went through and actually numbered the calendar properly. Again, just using a fine liner. This is similar to a Micron, but this is Mr. Penn's version. I actually have a review for those pens as well. Adding a little bit of this faux washi tape to just a day that's important to me for March. And I just always like to signify it in some way. And then just adding the little excess piece up here at the top, almost like tape. And then I added a floral sticker down at the bottom. And so now these two pages are pages that I always add for my calendar spreads. I'm actually not doing a whole lot of different spreads this month. I'm just keeping my calendar very basic. Last month I had did some other calendar spreads, and I ended up not using them because we were out of town. And then when we got back, my husband and I were both sick. And so I'm just keeping this month very simple. So I get a lot of questions about this particular page. I call this page Project Bingo. And really all it is a fun way for me to record some of the things that I want to accomplish this month. And so I am just adding a sticker there in the free space area, and then I will go back through and fill that out. I will try to remember to do it after the pen for next month so you can kind of see how this works. But I just include different things that I want to accomplish during the month on that page, whether that be an organization project or a journal that I want to create, or some deep cleaning or something, just whatever kind of just random things that I want to get done this month. And so this other page is my line a day page. I use this page to record something that happened or something I'm grateful for or something I want to remember for each of the days of the month. I'm just going through my title here and adding a little bit of a drop shadow to all of that just to really help that ink kind of pop off the page a little bit. And then I'm going through with these little mini stickers from By the Will for God and adding those to add some color into my pages. Now, these 2 pages are probably not anything that everybody would use, but these just kind of help my brain. So these are my video idea page spread and my video schedule. Sometimes I try to record ahead of time, and so this just helps me keep everything organized for the content that I want to create here on YouTube. So I added one of those floral stickers from By the Will for God, and now I'm just going to write in video ideas over here on the left, and then again I'll just write schedule on the right side, and I'm using those same grabby markers. I love these because they have a brush tip on them, so you can kind of do almost like a faux calligraphy. And then I'm going to go back through and do the same thing where I'm just adding a little bit of a drop shadow with a fine liner pen. I was going to say Micron, but it's the Mr. Pen version. And I think I'm using like the 005 nib for all of that. And then again, over here, you'll see I'm just writing in. And this is really just kind of my handwriting across the top of the page. You could certainly use like stamps or whatever, whenever I'm trying to kind of keep things simple and get my calendar set up quickly. I tend to do more of a handwritten, hand-drawn look. Otherwise, I would do, stamps or whatever. Maybe I'll try that next month so you can kind of see the way that looks as well. But then I'm just adding in some stickers for some color. And now that I'm going to start my week at a glance, my weekly spreads. Now, last month I added a couple of other kinds of spreads in here. I took those out for this month. I'm just keeping this very, very basic. And I want to use the same layout that I tried last month because I didn't really get to utilize it for the whole month. We were gone out of town for like 10, 11 days. And then when we got home, my husband and I were both sick. He had the flu. So there was just not a lot of opportunity for me to really kind of check and see if this is a layout that I like to use. I had a layout that I was using for months and months, and I got bored, so I just kind of wanted to change it up. So what I have done is kind of added some headers up at the top. That's where I will write the days of the week. Now, whenever I'm doing my weekly spreads, I always start on Monday and end on the weekend, but my calendar view is a traditional calendar with a Sunday start. I know some people like to have Monday start, but that just messes with my brain on my calendar page. But for my weekly, I do like to start on Monday. So, because a lot of times I will sit down Sunday night, do my planning for the week, and so I like to have that fresh for Monday. So I'm going through here, erasing my pencil lines, and now I'm just going to go around and add those sketchy lines. This is, again, just trying to pull in that sort of hand-drawn, mixed media kind of vibe that's in some of the stickers and things that I'm using this month. So one way to do this kind of hand-drawn thing and make it look intentional is I will draw the line around the box. And then when I draw the second line around it, I will just kind of make sure that I'm like overlapping and a little bit, squiggly, trying to make sure that I'm not actually making exact lines. I want it to look hand drawn. I know that's not everybody's cup of tea. It's just something that I enjoy for a quick spread in my planner here. So this bottom section down here is going to be for habits. And you can see I'm just kind of drawing everything in. Again, I'm using that fine liner. I believe this might be the 0.5 it's the 0.005. And I'm just going around all of my little boxes here. And I kind of like to coordinate my colors for the week. So this week has kind of this yellowish sort of color for my headers, and then I'll do a different color for next week. And then down here in the bottom left-hand corner is where I'm going to write that this is March 3rd through the 9th, and March 1st and 2nd were obviously in my February planner because it fell on the way that the weekend fell. And I did decide to go around and kind of add a drop shadow. Originally, I was just going to do a drop shadow for this part, and then I ended up just outlining the whole thing. And now I'm going to come in with an acrylic marker and go over these colorful boxes with the day and the date. And I'm using an acrylic marker over this because I wanted to make sure that it was going to dry really well, because that underneath layer of paint is actually an acrylic marker as well. So This is just that same fine tip marker. These are both Grabbies, and I really like how these markers worked for this process this month. And so I have my days of the week across to the top, and then for Sunday, just kind of over there on the bottom right. And then I'm writing intentions here. This is where I'm going to kind of brainstorm the things that need to be done. I also like to do meal planning, so I write that out. And then this next section will be some habits that I need to track. And then I'm just listing the days of the week here. And then I'll also come back and do that for the meal planning. I don't include Sunday for my meal plan because that's one thing that we always just go out to eat on Sunday after church, and so I don't have to plan anything because I know we're gonna go out. So and now I'm gonna pull in these washi stickers again. Now they're a little bit too wide to act as dividers for my day here. So what I'm gonna do is actually take some scissors and just cut them in half. I'm not measuring them. You could certainly do that if you wanted to. You could use a trimmer to make sure you get everything nice and straight. Again, I'm trying to keep that kind of hand-drawn element to all of these pages. And so what I'm doing is just using those long washi strips and kind of using them as dividers for the day. Originally, I thought that I would just kind of leave it open, but for some reason, my brain needs for those to be like some kind of delineation. I don't know why, but it just, in my brain, it just makes me feel better to have like lines or something. And so I thought I would just add some of these colorful washi strips in here to bring some color and some interest into the page, and also, you know, just separate the days a little bit better for my brain. So moving to the next week, I'm not going to make you watch me do all of these, although I will do a flip through at the end. But like I said, I'm going to use another color. So this week I'm going to use pink as my header, and I'm just going to go through that same process exactly with titling everything, using my fine liner to just run around and do some sketchy lines around there. So all of this process is going to be the same, and these layouts for week to week are going to be exactly the same. I know some people, when they do bullet journals, they like to change up their weeklies, the layout from week to week. For me, I like to keep it very consistent. It's just easier when I'm setting up my planner. But I am trying to change it from month to month just to give it some interest. And I was kind of bored with my old setup. So here is kind of a flip through of my pages. You can see here I finished that. It took a lot of white out. I fixed it, but it will do. I added some little stickers just to pull in some color, and I added some that were black and white, or just the black line art stickers. And then I have some that are very colorful, so you can just kind of see. I just add those in. Sometimes I will decorate as I go through the month, but that will just kind of depend. I like to make sure that my planner is functional. I don't want to add so many stickers and things that I can't actually do the planning that I need to do in my planner. So that is the way everything ended up. If you like this video, I would really appreciate it if you gave it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Also considering join my Facebook group. That will be in the description as well. And until next time, bye.